Bonus day.
Bonus.
It's actually Thursday, September 30th.
A week from my birthday.
A week from Jimmy's birthday. October 6th is Jimmy's birthday.
Yep.
Maybe I'll sing to you on my video.
Hey, I'm one of those subscribers. I should get it sung to me.
Yeah, I'll sing to you then. Okay, we did find some more questions. They were in a different video, but I did find them. I usually write them in a book, but I forgot this week. I'm kind of slacking on my responsibilities.
Slacking.
But anyway, G.I. Joe's girl, 91, wants to know. She's been watching for about 3 years and still don't know which grandchildren belong to who. Jimmy is father to Samantha. So he's with Samantha, and his son is David, and his daughter is Alyssa. Here's a picture. Danny is father to Sebastian and Oliver, and he's divorced, and here's his picture. And Christy is married to Aaron, and they have Sophia. And here's her picture. So
cleared up.
So that's how they all are. And that's the order of the way they were born. Jimmy was first, then Danny, then Christy. Jackie N., she has a bird phobia too.
Yes.
And then Carla Johnson wants to know, what is your very first memory?
My very first memory would be, it had to have been, like, what year was that, like, real big snowstorm? Was that 75 or something?
I think 76 we had that really big snowstorm.
So it had to be then, because
you would have been 5. No, you would have been 4.
We were still on Waltham when I was 4.
Oh, so it would have been 75 because we moved in May of 76.
Because it was from Waltham.
Right.
Whatever it was, I remember there was a lot of snow. We were going somewhere. And Dad was holding me at the end of the driveway. You guys were arguing. Sorry to throw you under the bus. But I don't know what you were arguing about. But I just remember you were standing on the porch and you forgot something. I know that. And you were going back, and he was like, "Just forget it. Let's go. We're late already." But just like, I don't, when like in the memory,
I probably forgot like a bag that was important or something.
Like in the memory, I don't think it, like, of you guys.
Right.
I could just see like him holding me at
Right.
the street and you on the porch, and it wasn't like you're arguing. It was like a playful, not a like a mean argument.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, all marriages have arguments.
No, I know, but it wasn't that kind of. It was like a, oh, for God's sakes, let's go.
Oh,
you know, one
yeah.
of them things. You know.
Yeah, there was. Well, the only good thing is that we lived on a fire route, so our streets always got plowed. But then we got plowed in, so he probably was upset about being plowed in, because we always got plowed in.
No, we were going somewhere.
But if it was during the snowstorm, we might have been plowed in.
No, because he was carrying me to the car.
Oh,
I
okay.
remember that.
My very first memory is a kindergarten memory. I know that we were having a paper drive, and I brought my bundle of papers in with my best friend Florence, and we were both in the same class. No, we weren't in the same class. She was in the other class, and so we were putting our bundles down, and I wasn't sure where I was supposed to put my bundle, and she says, "Well, just put it on top of mine." And then her kindergarten class won by one bundle. They didn't go by how much it weighed; they go in by bundles. And so our class missed out because Florence. We would have been a tie otherwise. The second question from Carla wants to know is, which foreign language do you wish you knew?
I don't want to say the obvious, like French or Spanish, so I'll pick like Italian.
I'd like to speak Farsi because we got so many Muslims that live around here.
Yeah.
So when you're in an elevator, I want to know what they're saying. Plus, they say that's the hardest language to learn.
I know what they're saying.
No, it'd be nice to answer. I would just like to be able to speak any language. That if somebody was talking about me and they thought that they could say, like if you go and get your mani-pedis.
Yeah.
That a lot of times that they're talking, and sometimes Denise's friend is Chinese, and she said, Denise says, well, I always get the impression sometimes that they're talking about me when they're talking to each other in Chinese, and she said, oh, we are.
Yeah, they are.
So it would be nice to know that you could answer them and then kind of shock them that you knew what they were saying. What food do you crave more than any other? Mine is just
pizza.
Mine would be chocolate of any kind. I'm always craving chocolate.
Usually pizza.
Number 4, what is your strangest habit?
My strangest habit is I cannot leave the house without a belt on. This is going to make me look weird, but it is. It is all true. I can't leave the house with a belt on. If you leave the house with the belt off, something bad is going to happen. Like I have turned around and been late for work just to get home to get the belt on. And if I've made it to work, I've had someone bring me the belt.
That is strange.
I have to put my right sock on first and my right shoe or boot on first, and then put my left sock on and my left shoe. That never goes the opposite way. If I can say a handful of times in the past 20 years I've done it, but if I've in a hurry put my left shoe on and I've caught it and I'm already, all my shoes are on, I will take them all off. I will reset. Oh, and the shoes have to be on the right side. And I will take them all off, reset it up, and start over.
I always knew you were weird.
That is my 2 weird habits.
I don't think I have a strange habit. Do I have a strange habit that you can think of? I can't think of a strange habit. I have habits, but I don't think they're all that strange.
Probably you're sleeping. Like from planes, trains, and automobiles.
Oh yeah, I do make a lot of noises before I start. That is a habit. That is. I do.
Go to sleep already.
Yeah, I do. I start off on my right side, and then I roll onto my back, and then I finish it off on my left side and go to sleep. Yeah, that is. I know that when we used to go to the lake, I either had to wait till everybody was asleep before I went to bed, or I had to go to bed before everybody else, so I would be asleep because of my noises. Yeah, I guess that would be. Yeah, that would be my strange habit.
Yep.
And number 5, this is also from Carla Johnson. What sound do you hate the most? Oh, mine, hands down, a leaf blower. Hands down. Get the broom out. I almost swore. Get the broom out and sweep like we used to.
I love a leaf blower.
Well, Jim, your dad uses one too. It's like I can't stand that noise. I can't stand that noise.
The sound I hate, unless I'm playing it, then it's different. But the sound of cornhole, like the bags hitting because they play across the street, and you'll just be sitting there watching TV, and you'll just hear. It's just like
Marilyn Avent, Avent, wants to know, were your kids like you growing up? Oh, I hope not.
David was a little. Alyssa, no, not at all.
No.
David, a little bit. Probably not as bad. He was as spoiled as I was.
And she said, it sounds like you gave your mother a run for her money.
Yes, I did.
And Janet M., please let us see Jimmy's home. Never saw a home being built.
You will.
Okay. How many, this is for me. How many clocks do you have in the house? 37. Are there special memories attached to each one? Some of them have memories. Like my grandfather clock we bought, Jim and I bought when we were going out of business store up in Lexington. My very first clock that he got me has memories. The one Beatles clock that he got me, I just was looking at it in a store and it was like $600. And I said, I really like that clock. And then he surprised me with it. He went back and bought it. So that one, that. And then my kids have given me clocks, and YouTube subscribers have given me clocks. And so I have meetings with them. Have you always had short hairstyles? No, when I was first going out with Jim, I always had long hair and a
You're gonna have to
ponytail.
put a picture of that up.
I don't know if I could find one.
Oh, I could find one of that.
Yeah, I'll have to look. But I used to put it like in a ponytail on top of my head and have the hair hanging. I hated long hair, but Jim liked it, and I wanted to please my man.
There you go.
And as soon as I got married, I pleased my man no more.
Yeah.
Cut it all off. But he always makes fun of me when I get a haircut because he wants to know what's the diagnosis. Because I get it so short. He always thinks that, Question for both of us. If you were able to go back and relive a year of your life, what would it be? And what was so special about that year? Mine would be the year that we went to Disney World and all the airports were closed down and we had to take different flights to get back. And we had
Why would you want to go back to that?
Because it was fun. It really was
It's
fun.
not. You weren't the one running.
Well, that's why it was fun. I was watching everybody else run. But I mean, we had so much fun at Disney. That's when we stole we didn't know we stole.
We didn't steal. You stole.
Well, we didn't know. But I thought they were handing out raincoats because it was raining so hard. And we all went to the rack and got our raincoats, and then we walked out of the store. And then we were lined at the rainforest. Was it the rainforest? That big tree, the tree of life.
Yeah.
And it was pouring rain, and the people were holding papers and stuff. And I said, you got to go down to that store. They're giving out raincoats. And the guy in front of me in line, he says, they're not giving them out. They're charging you. And I go, oh, we got ours for free.
We stole them, but
I didn't realize we stole them at that point, but then it was a nice raincoat, too.
that was a nice
It was a
raincoat.
really nice raincoat.
My favorite memory would probably be. Oh, we got to go back to a whole year.
It says, if you could go back and relive a year of your life. Oh, a year of your life. Oh, if I had to relive a whole year of my life, I think it would be the year I was pregnant with Jimmy. It was the first time I was pregnant. I was all excited about it.
Stole mine. I was going to say the same thing. I was going to say the year David was
Yeah,
born.
I mean, it was a magical time. It really was. It was, and then when it got
Of course,
closer,
it's a magical time. Look,
Well,
look what this produced.
it was a magical time until somebody's witch's potion went poof. Thanks, Kim. But no, Jimmy was like, it really. I didn't have any labor with. I had labor with Jimmy, but I don't have any memory of it because my water broke at 3 a.m. I went to the hospital like around noon. They sedated me, so I was sleeping, and then they woke me up at 6:25 and said, "Your baby's coming. Let's go." And I said,
I took it
"Okay."
off and went to a different floor.
Yeah. And then we lost Jimmy, and it was just a whole thing. But I delivered on the 4th floor, and then my room was in the 5th floor, but they left Jimmy in the 4th floor nursery, so we couldn't find him for a while. And to this day, sometimes I wonder.
What the hell's that?
It's the birds in my tree.
To this day, the other mother's like, I held greatness and lost it.
Did you ride a bus to school, or were you close enough to walk?
For the first 6 years, I was close enough to walk.
Next door.
Next door. Like, not kidding.
Literally.
30 feet.
Next door. I could look out my window, look out the living room window. I could see him in his 4th grade class. I could look out my kitchen window and see him in his 2nd grade class. I could go upstairs and see him
in 7th, or no, that would be
5th and
6th.
7th.
No,
6th and 8th.
and 7th, because remember, Mr.
Oh,
Gunn
Mr. Gus
stayed.
was on the other side, yeah. So I could see Jimmy. So it was really 8 years. Oh, no, it would
No,
have been 6.
because
you
we
went to-
moved, and then that's when Mrs. Poison was driving me to
Yes,
school.
that's right.
That was cool.
During your 8th grade, that's true. And then when we moved to Clinton Township, you took the bus
For 2 years.
for 2 years. I did take a bus for like 2 months. When our house burned down, I had to go live with my cousin, and I was the first one on the bus and the last one off the bus. I hated it. But when I went to school to Guardian Angels, I walked to school, and it was over a mile. It was a long walk, but
Was
they
it
didn't have
uphill?
buses. wasn't uphill, but it was cold. And Jerry Brandemart was the one that walked me because he got 50 cents a week for walking me. And he used to beat me up all the time. And he'd say, if you tell your mother and I lose this 50 cents, you ain't seen nothing yet. I couldn't stand him. And who taught you how to drive?
I did. I did.
Yes, he did. He didn't want to take any kind of... I took driver's training in high school, so...
I'm like, it ain't so hard. It's so hard, buddy. You hit the gas, you hit the brake, and I just went into a parking lot. Then off I went.
Yeah, Jimmy was illegally driving for a long time.
Not a long time.
3 years.
2.5. See? 2.
And Smoky Cat 100, which her real name is Kathy Irwin Woolsey, wants to know for you, how did you and Samantha meet and how long have you been together?
We met online on a dating app. Couldn't tell you which dating app it was. I want to say Plenty of Fish, maybe. I think that was it. I don't remember the app. And we've been together. It will be 9 years a week from Saturday.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Nitty Freckles, I like her channel name, Nitty Freckles. What was your best or funniest Halloween costume as a kid?
My funniest one was probably the Dracula.
Yeah, that did come out pretty good.
That or the punk rock. I did like the punk rock.
The punk rock was a good one too.
Punk rock was a good
another
one.
good one too. Mine would have been, I went as a bum every year because my mother wouldn't buy a costume, so she'd take some old clothes and tell us to sew some patches on it.
I do remember I wanted to be Cornelius from Planet of the Apes, but you wouldn't buy it because the costume was too expensive. But it had the real mask, and I was like, oh.
No. I don't think we ever had store-bought costume, ever.
Yeah, we had it once because you said, see, that's why I don't buy
Oh,
it,
yeah,
because the rubber band came off and I was just
cheap.
holding the mask
It
on.
was cheap. Do you have any ghost stories?
No, just, I mean, I had one when I lived in Detroit with Roseanne, where I was working at Sears, and she came up. She's like, there's a ghost at our house. I'm like, there ain't a ghost in our house. And so she goes, watch, anytime I put anything on this shelf, it like I thought she was messing with me. That's how, like, she'd put a block on there, and it would go flying off. And like, without us anywhere near it. And I'm like, no, there's something, so I'd take the shelf off, and I'm looking at it, like, there's got to be, I'm feeling the wall, I put it back up, put the block, I start walking away, it goes over my shoulder, I'm like, all right, we're out of here.
I don't have a ghost story, but I do have a story that my mother always told me that it was like I was dreaming. But my Aunt Shirley was dying of cancer, and I was spending the night with my cousin Vicky, and we were laying in the bed, and everybody was asleep. And I woke up, and to this day I will tell you that I saw Jesus walking down the hallway into my Aunt Shirley's bedroom, and my Aunt Shirley died the next day. So it's just kind of, I really do believe that was Jesus that I saw, and I think he was going to put her mind at ease, but I'll never know until I get up to heaven. But when I get up there, I got questions.
You got questions?
What is your go-to crackpot or comfort food in the fall? Mine is chili.
Windmill cookies. I love windmill cookies in the fall.
Oh, no, mine is chili.
But they got to be dollar store windmill cookies.
What was the best and worst things you got while trick-or-treating when you were little?
Oh. What's her name across the street from Grandma? Not directly across, but the next 2 houses over. Who was that? Like if you were on Grandma's porch. No, not Mrs. Samaro.
The other way, Mrs. Diefenbach?
No, across the street, directly across.
Okay.
Now go, not the next house, but the next house.
That would be the Samaros. Directly across the street, there's the McQuaid's and the Samaros. If you went the other way, it's
No, then it
Outfits
had
and
to, no,
Diefenbach.
it was next to Samaros then. Because it wasn't the
Oh, I don't know
Samaros.
who they were. They were kind of weird.
Yeah, because they gave me like caramels, like hard caramels, and apple. Like, oh, you chew the apple and then you eat the caramels like a caramel apple. And I'm like, what is wrong with these people? I don't want an apple.
And what was the best thing you got?
The best thing I got was from Mrs. Schwartz. Remember her on my paper route? She would give me $50. And then Mom would make me try and give it back.
Yes.
And then she'd say, no, honey, you don't have to give it back. And then she'd go up to the porch and she'd still say, no, he doesn't have to give it back.
I know, she had too much money to burn. My worst thing I ever got was an apple. Back when I was little, they gave out apples and oranges. I could go in the fruit bowl in my house and get that. That was like the worst thing I ever got. But the best thing I ever got was one of the people.
These are stocking stuffers. This isn't Halloween.
That's what we got on our stockings. We got an apple, an orange, and a banana. And we didn't even have regular. We used our socks, our regular socks, and so you could see the shape of the banana. It was like a gross stocking. Thinking about it, but anyway.
Exactly.
But my best was like the one guy down the street from us worked at a Wonder Bread, and he'd have the little tiny little loaves of bread. And he'd hand those out. I always like to go there. When is it socially acceptable to decorate for fall? October 1st.
Yeah, I would say October 1st.
Pumpkin spice, a yummy treat or not?
Oh, no.
No.
Not a fan.
No. Is the first day of fall called fall or autumn?
Fall.
Fall. Judy Rebay with you. She doesn't agree that she's not a fan of birds either.
Nope.
Recipes with Roy wants to know, you sure you're not in a remake of The Birds? Because he heard all the birds go by.
Sometimes, yes.
Well, that's about it. So, ask us anything again.
Anything.
So, we'll have to come up with some questions for you. Or if there's anything you want us to talk about, it doesn't necessarily have to be questions.
We can talk about anything.
We've lived a long life.
Yes.
Mine a little bit longer than Jimmy's.
Yes. You know, Google turned 23 today. I think it's 20,
really?
21 or 23, one of the two.
I remember when they were saying that the internet was going to be the new information highway, and I go, yeah, how important is that?
I remember in 6th grade, remember they had that computer class?
Oh, yeah.
And I remember sitting next to Eric Burkheiser like, I don't know why we're doing this, so stupid. We are never going to need this.
Never.
Never.
But, okay, if you're new to our channel,
comment,
like,
subscribe,
and share.